Luke 7, titled is Jesus Brings a Woman's Son Back to Life. The next day, Jesus and his followers went to a town called Nain. A big crowd was traveling with them. When Jesus came near the town gate, he saw some people carrying a dead body. It was the only son of a woman who was a widow. Walking with her were many other people from the town. When the Lord saw her and said, "Don't cry," he walked to the open coffin and touched it. The men who were carrying the coffin stopped. Jesus spoke to the dead son. "Young man, I tell you, get up." Then the boy sat up and began to talk, and Jesus gave him back to his mother. Everyone was filled with fear. They began praising God and saying, "A great prophet is here with us, and God is taking care of his people." This news about Jesus spread all over Judea and to all the other places around there. So that one, I'm reading these by subject, and this one's very short. It took less than a minute to read that, and all I have to do is say it's self-explanatory, nothing to specifically talk about. Jesus saw a woman, had only one child. He was dead. They're carrying him to bury him. She's crying. And I can imagine in this sense, because Jesus knows what kind of life he's going to live. He can see his death. He can see his life. He can see before the beginning of time. He's always been here. He is God. He's God in the flesh. So Jesus Christ can imagine him hanging on the cross, dying, and his mother Mary standing in front of him. I can imagine that he's in this moment thinking about that that's about to happen and how sad his mom's going to be. So that's why this woman didn't have to come to Jesus like many other people. They're coming to Jesus. "Jesus, heal me, please." This woman was minding her business on her way to a funeral, and Jesus sees this woman crying, and I'm sure in his mind it snapped to the future for him, where he sees his mom crying because he's on a cross finna die, his earthly mother, Mary, and he has compassion for her. Probably more compassion than he's felt in a long time, but he has a lot of compassion for all of them, of course, because he's using his time to heal them and care for them. But he really has compassion for this lady, because not only does she just go to the boy, he could have just went to the boy and said, "Get up, boy, you're alive," and let the woman stop crying, but he comforted the woman, and he felt sorry for her, because he can see his mom, his earthly mom, Mary, is gonna feel sorry, is gonna be crying, and he's gonna feel sorry for her. At the end, when Jesus dies and gives his life, he he does like a ceremony while he's hanging on the cross, and his mom's in front of him crying, and he tells one of his disciples, "Look," or I think it was his brother. I gotta read it. And he tells him, oh, his one of his disciples, I think, but he tells him, "Behold, this is your mother now. I'm gonna die, and she's not gonna have me anymore. I was her son, but now she's gonna be your mother, and mother, he's treat him like your son, so that you won't feel that loss of me so much." So this is what Jesus did when he saw this woman. He had compassion. It says when the Lord saw the woman, he felt very sorry for her and said, "Don't cry." Then he walked to the open coffin, and this is also a snapshot of how he's going to come out the coffin himself. He is going to be dead and raised from the dead, and so everybody around is going to praise God just like they're doing now for him bringing this young boy back to life. And that is all it. And this news about Jesus spread all over Judea and other places around there. So it's really getting out. This man can really do miracles. Not only can he heal from sicknesses, he can raise the dead. So, of course, if somebody in this world could raise the dead, we'd all be talking about it. Okay, so the next topic will be John sends men to ask Jesus a question. And let's see what that's about. Bye bye.